Into the void we go here. Shock Troopa. This is someone who only plays Mono Bluetron. Yeah, I assume this is fine. Actually, no. I don't know what our Mono Bluetron matchup's like. Lead on this breeding pool. Then go breeding pool tapped. Then we can go Darkslick Shores, cast Thopter Foundry. Fatal Push is probably going to be less than stellar against Mono Bluetron. Yep. Okay, so artifacts cannot contribute to the blue mana on here. So maybe I should have played Glimmervoid there. It's possible I should have played Glimmervoid there. That's pretty decent. Cast this. And then pass the turn here. And if they do anything at my end step, I can whir for the sword. It's kind of funny. Okay, I have a stop at my end step here. So I'm going to let their Thirst of Knowledge resolve because I want them to discard not knowing that I'm going to have a sword next turn. Discarded HL, so the Void, sure. So 1, 2. I don't understand. Why? How do I cast this card? Alright, so this. Okay, X is 0. X is 1. X is 2. Alright, did it that time. I would like Sword of the Meek. And I would like to activate my Thopter Foundry, sacrificing Sword of the Meek. I would like to return this to play. Thank you. Sure, they're about to go like land Ugin and like kill my things, but on the event they don't have Ugin or O-Stone, we're gonna be a pretty good spot here probably. So what can the second one get that's useful? We have a Pithing Needle we can get. A Welding Jar, we have a Witchbane Orb. Can't seem to beat Eldrazi any advice. I posted boarding notes in my article today. Yeah, we have a Pithing Needle in the main deck. This is effectively Tezzeret, yep. No other band, kid. Man, it's almost like we're playing Chord again with the 2-month subscription. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. I have dropped 0 frames because we were streaming from my mobile internet. So if you have any issues, they're either on Twitch's end or your personal end. I'm going to correct map here, I assume. Yeah, I've got Bridge and EE. I think we're just passing here. We might try and whir for a... Okay. We're just passing here, right? Sure. It's weird to me that there isn't a Spellskite in this deck. Is that weird to anyone else? Wait, maybe there's a Spellskite? No Spellskite in this deck has to be wrong. So this, for those that aren't aware, this is not a deck list I've designed. Someone sent in a donation for us to play this. It sounds like I might need to go upstairs and help Declan really quick. Things that are smoother in paper. Yeah, Spellskate hasn't been, like, super well positioned, but, like, it feels like it's probably good enough that, like, it's worth playing as a fun of, at least in the board. Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Just put the kids to bed, and well, they went to bed a little bit ago. Declan needed a diaper change up there, it looks like. Man, I guess we're just passing here, right? They might not have an out to this in their main deck. Sure. This is probably going to involve a Mindslaver lock. I guess it just could be involved like Elishnorn and Burial Rites. Could be blue-white Tron. I have Talisman. I feel like this tank means they don't have the Unburial rates. Hellish, they're probably mono blue. I don't actually know. And we're like holding this Whir for a Pithing Needle, so we've got that going for us. Yeah, the Thopters are blue, they can Ugin them, but like they need Ugin plus the counterspell here because we can Whir for Pithing Needle in response to. Alright, Walking Ballista, Oblivion Stone, Cyclonic Rift. So they can Walking Ballista for a good deal here. I think I just give them the Cyclonic Rift. That's funny. I think I give them Walking Ballista and Mindslaver here. Because if they want to slaver us and don't have a counterspell, I actually have a Witchbane Orb. Alright, this is going to resolve. And then I think during the end step, we're just going to go get Witchbane Orb here. While he's tapped out. So he's going to have 10, 11, possibly 14 mana. We could, like, push that off of a cliff and then pressure them over 2 turns. Where's my orb at? There it is. Destroy all curses that would be attached to me. Alright, go. Hopefully that saves us from Mindslaver. So we gave them Slaver plus Walking Ballista here. Trigger. Destroy all curses. I guess they're technically not dead on board now. Trinket Mage, sure. It's an expedition map, sure. So I could like play this and go get another tower here for free, basically. Sure. Academy runes, sure. I think we're just going to push this off a cliff here. Remand, sure. So they could put their Oblivion Stone on top of the deck, sure. Sure. So make black with that. Blue like this. Cast Tezzeret. He needs another remand here, which he has, of course. Oh, geez, it's a Condescend. I should have played this Mox Opal. I punted. Yeah, wow. Holy crap. Yeah, holy shit. Ha. That's really funny. If I'd have played this Mox Opal out after I floated mana with this, I'd have been able to pay off of this and then Tezzeret this Darksteel Citadel. I think we're Welding Jarring the Witchbane Orb here. So I could have killed my opponent through this Condescend if I'd have played this Mox Opal out, because then I would have been able to pay for the Condescend, or they would have had to Condescend for one more, and then they wouldn't be able to Oblivion Stone. And the problem for those that are unaware, regenerating something taps it. So, like, I can't just, like, regenerate a Thopter, because I'll lose the sword anyways, but yeah. So, when this comes into play, I'm going to make this a 5/5, because it's indestructible. They're going to blow this up. This is going to target my Witchbane Orb, so that way they can't start Mindslavering me next turn. Cast this. Cast this. So I'd have been able to kill my opponent if I would have sequenced that correctly. Do we know any of the cards in their hand? We know they have a Mindslaver. We don't know the other 4 cards. Yeah, there's Krosan Grips on the board. There's links to the deck list below the stream if you're interested. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of mistakes tonight. New toolbox deck. New deck in general, and it's a toolbox deck. And, like, Modern's a format full of, like, weird decks, right? Yeah, got there anyways. Sweet. Alright, well, Thoughtseize seems great. Pithing Needle seems great. Is K-Grip good? I guess K-Grip's really funny against some other stuff. Your artifacts have hexproof. You control an artifact. They probably won't always meet that requirement, so that's probably not very good. Maybe Surgical Extraction is fine. Fatal Push seems terrible. Executioner's Capsule is probably not very good. Engineered Explosives is probably mediocre. Bring in the Surgicals. Are any of these other cards bad? Ensnaring Bridge seems okay. I don't know that I need multiple of them. Crucible of Worlds seems great. I have Ghost Quarters in here. Yeah. It's kind of weird there's not an Expedition map in here. That feels like a card I would kind of want access to. Yeah, Bridge doesn't seem fantastic. Do we want some K-Grips? I think I want one Bridge. It's just like a to search for on occasion. A couple of K-Grips seem fine. I don't know, the Key to the City seems particularly fantastic. Aether Spellbomb and Nihil Spellbomb seem like fine utility. Pentad Prism seems excellent. Maybe Key to the City isn't great. Probably don't need to make Dorks unblockable. Let's give this a try. See how it feels. 2 Surgicals might not be needed either. Maybe these Surgicals aren't supposed to be here. Opponent's deck plays a lot of expensive artifacts that can make you not be able to draw cards with that other one, so I don't think I want that here. Could be wrong. Evening Returning Dawn. Scene seems okay. It's a little... We're on the draw. It's a little awkward that Pentad Prism... We want a second colored mana for Pentad Prism, ideally. Awkward. Don't really care if this gets countered. Remand, probably. I could just be scragged. Deal. We've been remanded. Over to Bauble. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm aware I have Mox Opal. I don't have a third artifact in play yet, though. This needs Metalcraft to make mana. And I think I want to hold this until a point where I have it. Do I want a Pithing Needle proactively here? Seems like it might be a little loose. I'm just going to pass. I guess I could just, like, name map. Yeah, I'm just going to name map. Feels like a card they're probably going to be looking for here soon. Condescend, sure, resolves. That sweet, sweet auto pass value in here. Scalding Tarn's decent. Cast this Pentad Prism. Grab Breeding Pool here, so we guaranteed have colored mana to cast Krosan Grip down the line. Yeah, that makes sense, Justin. I don't think Bridge is particularly important in this matchup, though, so I don't think that's super relevant. I'm guessing gifts here. Condescend for 3, sure. And again, just like holding this this Mox Opal for a turn that we can actually use it and have a surprise extra mana. Yeah, there's Phenologist, fine. Discarded Platinum Angel, yep. Another Tezzeret. I guess this Crucible. I don't think Ghost Courting them really does much right now, so I'm just going to pass on that for now. Let's cast this so we have the mana out for it. Being your upkeep if you have 3 more artifacts. Yeah, sweet. Now we'll probably start Ghost Quartering them. We also don't have that many lands this can get. So, is it Gifts Ungiven? Walking Ballista for 2, sure. You have another Watery Grave in here to get an island. You have a Stifle. Trickbind they play sometimes, not Trickbind, Squelch. Happily gain a life. Oh, it has exactly 1 land left to get my deck. You want to lead on casting this? If they have remand, they have remand. Sweet. I'm just going to make Sword of 5/5 here. I feel like I'm just making Sword of 5/5 here. Well, I guess let's just let them shoot this down with this. I guess if they spend their next turn doing that, I'm okay with that. I'll make this a 5/5 and attack. And then during their draw step, we're going to Ghost Quarter this thing. Yeah, I agree. I'll play a Scalding Tarn out of my hand. I'm going to, like, repeal this thing. We are the making. Cyclonic Rift, maybe? Underneath your bed. Yeah, believe what you see. I think that's fine. I like play this second Tezzeret. Like, if he has Cyclonic Rift or Repeal, like he's gonna be able to bounce this anyway, so I'd like to just get in my licks while I can. I'm gonna go ahead and Ghost Quarter this now. There's a reason we didn't play the Turn in the Grave. Ensnaring Bridge. Squelch. Yep, they had the Squelch. Okay. Interesting. Tron me. Thirst, sure. These surgicals should probably not be in my deck. Turns out, play this Ghost Quarter, this Tezzeret. Oh, Ghost Quarter, Surgical, the Tron piece? Yeah, that seems fine. I'm going to draw step Ghost Quarter again. It worked out really well last time, so. Build your own Crumble to Dust. Yeah, believe what you see. This is the Condescend, it looks like. I'm going to let them go ahead and scry here, and then we'll surgical this again. And now the surgical has the upside of shuffling away the card that they topped. Thirst for Knowledge, Cyclonic Rift. Alright, well, they're going to be able to rift us next turn. Which means we're probably dead. Let's screenshot this bad boy. I'm going to attack down Tezzeret. So we got a little bit aggressive here. It looks like we're not going to be able to close it out. So they're going to overload Cyclonic Rift here. That leaves them with runes and stuff. So play this. Play this. Play this. Play this Ghost Quarter from our bin. You know, maybe I was supposed to actually play this Darkslick Shores here. Treasure Mage. Arm Coil, sure. I think I was supposed to play the Darkslick there, actually, so because it comes into play tapped, even though it gave up information. It doesn't really help me with anything, so if I pay... These don't have lands to fetch out of my deck. So I pay 4 here. We do have a bridge in our deck, but we don't have enough mana to Inventors Fair for it and cast it, I don't think. can't cast Bridge because I played my lands in the wrong order. You just do this. Taking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, dead on board. I don't know that Surgical is good. I feel like if Surgical would have had a text box that game, we would have been better off, but I also feel like none of these cards up here would have given it a text box, would have had relevant text boxes, so maybe that's fine. Oh, could have replayed Fair to cast the bridge, sure. Oh, and then I guess... Okay, thank you. Yeah, not used to Crucible World, Inventors Fair. Yeah, we could replay Fair, and then have the land, and then bridge, and then we're going to die to his thing slowly, but the following turn we could Fair for... Okay, so we weren't actually dead there. Sweet. Thank you for the suggestion in chat. Neat deck. Toolboxes on toolboxes on toolboxes. So for those that aren't catching what the chat is saying that I've now caught, we could fair every turn basically because we have Crucible of Worlds out. So we could have faired for Ensnaring Bridge there and then replayed the Fair to play the Ensnaring Bridge. This hand looks great. Quite good. Pentad Prism is kind of insane with Whir of Invention, isn't it? That's easy on one. Condescend, repeal, a bunch of bad cards. I think I'm just taking their counterspell here, right? I'm just gonna take their counterspell here. Run, baby, run. Don't ever look back. I think I'm just supposed to use this. Although I guess this is an extra mana here for this in 2 turns. I'm probably just supposed to use it. I think we're going to have plenty of mana. Oh, I should have looked at their top card too. That was sloppy. Sloppy slops. Man, I was kind of hoping to draw a non-land at some point here. We finding anything useful here? Not really. Sure. Good beat. Bridge doesn't do a whole lot. Am I just getting a tapped land here? I feel like I'm just getting a tapped land here. I'm not quite sure what we're doing with this Whir yet, so let's just take a draw step and draw another land. I mean, that's kind of a land, I guess. I can use this, target myself, see what's on top of our deck. There's a Darkslick Shores on top of my deck, so I want to crack this fetch. Should have gotten Breeding Pool last turn since I have Urborg out. Small mistakes, small mistakes. Okay, it's an okay draw. They have a Crucible Worlds of their own, sure. Oh, you know, if he has a counterspell here, I did this to myself. I could have done this in response to the Crucible with the way they sequenced. Let's grab Ensnaring Bridge. Alright, go. Treasure Mage, sure. Mindslaver, yep. Seems good. Yay, Welding Jar. A repeal does suck. Play a Tron piece and we'll concede. That's good clean. Alright, yeah, I'm just not gonna sit here. So we could have played better in the second game when I could have fared for the bridge, played the bridge, or played the fair, played the bridge, and then fared for needle, played the needle, and then fared for Thopter Foundry, and then like started doing that. Do once against my own. The only difference between the Patreon and the Twitch is that on Twitch you get little emotes that you get to use on Twitch. There's a bunch of different ones of those. But other than that, it's just I put the Patreon up because people were asking for that, so I don't care whichever way people want to support. In fact, it's a good question. While we're waiting for the next batch to pop, just take a second to plug the sponsors. I'd like to say thank you to everyone for hanging out here tonight. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a TCG player and content producer here at my Twitch page, maybe my YouTube page in the future. If you're enjoying what you see, I'd encourage you to show the support. Use that follow button there on your screen. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps other people find my stuff. If you're really enjoying what you see, please consider doing what D. Brian was asking there in chat. Subscribe on Twitch or become a patron on Patreon. Speaking of which, Shannon632 with the 8-month resubscription. Thank you for the continued support, Shannon. I do appreciate it. Welcome back. 2/3 of a year. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors here, mtgotraders.com, Inked Gaming, MTG Card Market, and Spare Deck. You can find sweet discount codes for them linked down below the stream. What does this hand do? This hand's got spells in it. Opponent's going to like be playing Storm and destroy us, but I actually know what we're doing, so someone sent this. Oh, burn. Excellent. Light them up. I'm on fire. I guess we have Thopter Foundry and we like have a tutor for our sword here. Spendrift Bolt. Oh, are we gonna die on one? Oh. Deal. Deal, opponent. I see your bridge and raise you nonsense. Huh. Can we actually turn one Thopter Foundry here? Alright, it sounds like I need to go. I could turn one Thopter Foundry here. That doesn't seem awful. They're probably a Blood Moon deck. They probably would have Blood Mooned on one if they had it, but I'm going to fetch a basic island here just in case. So I could put this into play for 0. I could put this into play. And then I could cast this Opal. Alright, I'm going to go take Declan's tablet away from him since he's being a brat with it and not going to bed. So sometimes I let him watch the show while he goes to sleep, but then he doesn't go to sleep. So I'll be right back while my opponent does whatever it is they're doing over there. I got back just in time. DB42 with the brand new $4.99 a month subscription. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Welcome. Man. Remember the time they had a relic against our Thopters combo? That's awkward. They don't have another land. Alright. Just modern things, I suppose. Let's do... That's not what I want to do. So I could just Whir here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pass. Immortal Echoes. It's a Lenovo Yoga 710. Cruising in! Just here for 5 seconds. This nonsense looks sweet with the 18-month resubscription. 18 months is a long time. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Welcome back. They discarded a mountain. Mox Opal makes blue mana. So yeah, I can Whir. This makes blue mana. Get a Sword of the Meek. And I'm going to go ahead and crack by Mishra's Bauble here at end step here. Get a peek about what they got going on over here. Declan's just going to have to cry it out. There's another mountain on top of their deck, sure. Doesn't actually matter which of those are in a bin here. Yeah, right. I can see the Yu-Gi-Oh cards throw people off. So we'll draw an extra card here. Pentad Prism's not. That's probably really useful, actually. So use this, sacrifice the sword. If opponent blows Relic in response here, we'll sacrifice the Engineered Explosives. Yeah, they make them in a couple different sizes. The one I got is, I bought one of their smaller models intentionally. It's an 11.6 inch, but they make them in larger sizes too. Alright, so now, in response to the Relic, we sacrifice the Engineered Explosives here. And what that's going to do is it's going to make a Thopter, which will return the sword to play attached to this Thopter here. And then the Relic will resolve and get rid of all the graveyards. Goodbye, Faithless Looting. And now the Relic is gone, and we'll pass the turn here. Make 2 more Thopters at their end step. Get in some points of damage here under the bridge. Goblin Brabble Master. Sure. Oh. Oh, I messed this up. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this hit. I should have activated this thing twice first, and the reason why is if I blocked here and then sacked the sword, this would die because there's the point of damage marked on it. So I should have done this before blocks, and then I could have blocked this with the last 2-3 that's around. But maybe I'm still supposed to block. They don't have the extra idiot. Possible. Shock myself. Attack with all of these. All right, now before blocks, we're gonna activate this thing a whole bunch. This thing gains me a life too for whatever reason. This Thopter sword is a great example of why Stoneforge Mystic and Jace and Bloodbraid Elf could probably come off the ban list, like Thopter Sword and Ancestral Vision and Bitter Blossom. Like, these are all cards that people thought were, like, ridiculously overpowered, but they're just, like, super fair. So, like, no one actually, like, you're not actually going to break Modern by introducing these cards to the format. Like, you're going to make the format, like, introduce a new sweet tier 3 deck. Like, Modern's not cracked in half because Thopter Sword exists now. Like, put this here. I think I'm just going to trade with 2 of these. Just do that. Probably should have just done that last turn. You can bolt it again? Sure. Let's clean these out. Key to the city. Sure. Play this out. Alright, tap out for my Jace on 4. Brainstorm. Oh, you killed me? You killed me when you untapped? That's unfair. Like, that's... This is really cute that they could sit here and build this up. Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised. Price is a really crappy reason to unban a card, but I agree. They probably won't. I use this. This is like mana invested for later, basically. Can't attack because of its Ensnaring Bridge. At some point we'll draw a Tezzeret and then we'll kill them. Whir of Invention. Does that do anything for us? Do we have anything that deals with this, I don't, right? I could, like, cycle this thing, but that's it. Yeah, at some point, Johnny. Maybe? I don't know. I don't have any Modern tournaments coming up. Most of the Modern on here is probably going to be from donation deck lists. I've got, someone actually donated for me to play Mono Blutron. Mostly because they're a troll, but, I don't... As far as, like, formats in Magic go, I think Modern's my least favorite of Magic's constructed formats right now. I definitely enjoy Legacy a lot more than Modern. So I've been playing more of that. And Magic Standard format right now is actually really sweet. It's just, we're in between sets, so once Hour of Devastation releases, we'll probably be playing a bunch of Standard. I'm going to the Nerd Rage team event, where I will be playing Legacy for my team. Yeah, right? Where's Tezzeret at? Maybe I'm just supposed to cycle this, honestly. I can't whir for EE on 3. That's not how Whir of Invention works. It would get it at 0. I guess I could play this Key of the City and start discarding. I'm gonna do this a whole bunch. I'm probably supposed to play the Key, actually. Yeah, it's basically just for the Howling Mine effect, I believe. Again, this is not my deck list. We're playing a deck list that someone else posted and donated for me to play. But it seems sweet. I'm all for playing sweet things if someone else wants to pay for the league. Oh, look. A card that reads win the game. Suspend 1, win the game. God bless you, Tezzeret. One of the most powerful planeswalkers of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas. So... No, traveling to play Magic's really expensive. And with like without the Players Championship or something like really big to chase, I'm just like not playing nearly as much paper this year. My opponent's going to lose 2 life for every artifact I control. Seems good for me. Just can't look. It's killing me. Oh, yeah. Suspend 1, win the game. Look at that. All right, so... Damnation. Ghirapur Aether Grid. Yep. This is probably fine. Choking on your alibi. Nihil Spellbomb probably doesn't do much. Pithing Needle's probably fine. They probably have like Chandras and crap like that in there. I don't know that I need Crucible necessarily. Engineer Explosive seems fine for cleaning up tokens. Need 2 cuts here. What are they? Fatal Push seems great. Capsule seems fine. Witchbane Orb probably fine because I assume they have like Chandras and stuff like that. No idea. I do not make business decisions for Star City games. I assume it was a business decision. I assume that just like wasn't worth the advertising. They felt like they moved the money around. They didn't just get rid of the money. So like they turned 3 $50,000 invitationals and a $50,000 Players Championship into 2 $100,000 invitationals. Do I need a bridge versus a bridge deck? Wait, we don't want 2 bridges. I think we want 1 just because like I feel like they're pretty unlikely to play their own bridge all the time. Landy to go with their moons. Yep. What's this hand do? Evening, Da Blondie. I feel like this hand doesn't do enough. Doesn't have enough mana. Take a mulligan. Juden sounds much better. Turn 3 Tezzeret. Probably fine. That's probably something I'm in the market for. Ever been, and this is no place to try and live my life. It's exactly where I lost it. Blood Moon us next turn. I'm not going to be able to cast any of our spells, but that's okay. Modern's fun. Sorry for... Oh, just a Goblin Rebel Master. Deal. I'm sorry that it took so long for me to change. We're holding this for the time being because... we could draw a Fatal Push, and then this will give us the Revolt for Fatal Push to kill the Goblin Rebel Master. How quickly do we die to this is the question. Pretty quickly. We're sitting for 6 here, putting us to 13. To absolutely no one. This is Reliant K, I believe. This can confirm is Reliant K. Reverberating footsteps to the beating of my heart. I would watch me fall apart. Yeah, kinda. So we can like Thopter plus Whir for sword next turn, and then like with Mishra's Bauble and the Pentad Prism, we can probably sword around this relic. Yeah, so like, it's funny. I have a lot of people ask me that question. It's like, do I think Modern's healthy? And it's like, it depends on what your definition of healthy is, right? Like, if your definition of healthy, like lots of different deck names, then yes, Modern is very healthy. If your definition of healthy is lots of different deck archetypes, then Modern's probably not particularly healthy. Because like a lot of the archetypes that exist are like all very similar in like what their primary game plan is. M hates who I've been. At least among the decks that are good. And like, Modern's the type of format, it's much like Legacy, where, like, even when a deck is, like, really good in Modern, it's not going to be that particularly popular in the format because, like, there's a huge cost to changing decks in Modern. Not only is there a monetary cost of, like, buying a new deck, but, like, there's this huge cost to, like, learning a new deck and learning matchups. So, like, a lot of times in Modern, you're better off, you know, sticking with your deck that's maybe, you know, 4 or 5 percentage points worse against the field, but you're comfortable, like, sideboarding with it and, like, playing the ins and outs of the matchups. And, like, to get comfortable with the deck that's, like, 5 percentage points better, you're going to have to invest, you know, 2 or 3 weekends of just testing and jamming matchups. And, like, that's a big cost. That's obnoxious. Probably can't win anymore. There's a lot of things they can name here. They could name the wrong thing. If they name the right thing, we're probably dead here. Fatal Push would be clutch. Clutch draw. Damnation, also clutch. Although if he names Pentad... I think he's supposed to name Pentad Prism here. Thopter Foundry. Okay, sure. So you're saying there's a chance. He says as he draws another Thopter Foundry. Okay, so what am I doing here? Need to get my hand as empty as possible. I could just play Tezzeret and, like, make a 5/5. That doesn't seem completely unreasonable. So, like, people talk about, the play patterns that the discard decks employ are not interesting, and, like, the point of Death Shadow thought seizing you is to take away your interaction. Like, they're thought seizing you to, like, stop you from killing their 1-mana 8/8. So we can whir for Bridge here, but that really doesn't do anything, right? Because, like, we, like, play a Thopter Foundry, and then have 4 cards left in their hand. We play a land, have 3 cards, and play a whir, have 2 cards left in their hand. Like, they could still attack us with everything. I think we're supposed to actually just play Tezzeret here and, like, make a 5/5. I think I'm just supposed to, like, play this land tapped. No, Pokemon TCGO. Let's just throw that. Pokey scum. We typoed it. Pokemon's competitive stuff is like literally the stone worst. So never again. Yeah. If we could stop the Rebel Master from attacking with the bridge, we'd probably be worth getting the bridge, but we can't do that here. And maybe my opponent might just ship with everything here. Like, this is attacking as a 5-power dork here. It's going to make another Goblin and then attack. They probably can't attack with this. They might attack with that. They don't know we have the Thopter Foundries. It would be sweet if we got to gobble this up. The other thing is, too, they might ship into the Tezzeret here, like, not wanting us to make more 5/5s. If they don't ship into the Tezzeret, I might just trade with the Rabble Master and then, like, play this and make another 5/5 next turn. It depends. They have a lot of different things they could do here, and, like, they have a lot of different things they could have in their hand. I think if they attack with this, regardless of what everything else does, we're blocking this. Send all 3 tokens of Tezzeret. That probably makes the most sense, because then, like, Tezzeret's dead guaranteed. And, like, this is probably going to come at me. Just that. Alright, well, I mean, I guess I'll block here. Yep, he's gone. Yep. Yep. Land. Okay. Yeah, Pokemon is. I was actually really sad that Pokemon's competitive play is miserable because, like, as a game, Pokemon is like really, really interesting and skill intensive. Like, it's probably one of the lowest variance TCGs I've ever played. The question is, can I get through this turn without dying? I think the answer to that question is no. This is going to make 2 goblins, which is then 4, and then I block here, so that's 4, 6, 12. I guess I'm not technically dead on board. So, play this. And I could, like, rip into a Damnation here. It might have been wrong to use the Pentad Prism counters when I did. Because, like, had I not used the Pentad Prism counters, like if I would have like shocked and like had counters on here, I could have used the Whir. The problem is like I can't use this for blue mana for the Whir, so I can't actually cast this turn because I need 3 actual islands. I mean, the biggest problem with the deck like what I'm playing is here is just like Whir for EE on 0. That's a Whir for EE on 0 is like a play to not lose line as opposed to a play to win. Oh, was I actually just dead here? Yeah, I miscounted. Oh, because these pump each other. So if my opponent would have attacked with everything, we would have died here. I thought we were living at 1 if they attacked with everything, but I forgot these pump each other, but my opponent was timid and didn't attack with this, so, you know, God bless. No, as a bolt, sure. Every time I hear your voice saying my name, it sounds so sweet. Do you want some K-Grips? The fact that they have... I don't think I want this key to the city. I don't think I need the grind of this matchup. I think I want a K-Grip for their stupid Friction Revoker. That's fine. Yeah, let's do it. I guess this is a 1-4. I guess this is awkward because I can't, like, block... Yeah, let's just do that. This might be too many K-Grips. Who knows? If everyone's having a good time tonight, we'll play a few matches with this. We'll play until we have 1 cash to the league or have 3 losses. I think Pokemon's actually lower variance ace. Like, there's just so much selection in Pokemon that, like, your decks... I've never, like... When I was playing a bunch of Pokemon, I have never felt like every loss had, like... there's just so many permutations. There's more permutations in a game of standard Pokemon than, like, Vintage and Legacy on average. Yeah, we streamed Legacy yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. We played Hex this morning. Just Hex this morning. But we streamed Grixis Delver yesterday morning. You can find the archive on my YouTube channel, which is linked below the stream. Yeah, seems fine. Legacy is one of my favorite formats right now. Although Standard is growing on me. Like, the current Standard format seems fantastic, so high hopes for that. Just gonna leave this out for now. We have, like, stuff to do with our mana, so I'm not gonna, like, get an extra card in my hand in case we need to bridge. There's also is, like, a mana for the Whir of Invention down the line. Although I guess I need another island here for that, technically. So the biggest problem with Vintage, Pete, is that there aren't accessible ways to play it on Magic Online especially. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and crack this, I think. Especially if they play a Rabble Master here, we're definitely cracking this. I think we want to crack it anyways, just to, like, hit a land drop to try and play the Tezzeret next turn. So, the problem is that that translation, Cliffy, doesn't really translate, like, and a lot of people who are, like, used to Magic, like, talk about Pokemon, they're like that, like, oh, Pokemon's so busted, like, you do all these really busted things. It's like, they just, the actual answer is, they don't translate. They don't translate well because, like, the resource system in Pokemon is so fundamentally different from what it is in Magic. And, like, people are so used to just, like, almost every game you play being, like, a carbon copy of Magic in, like, some way, shape, or form. Like, even games like Hearthstone are, like, Magic-esque in a way. Just, like, brick on Brick on drawing a resource and die here. If we'd have hit a land there, we'd have been, like, winning this game by so much it wouldn't be funny. If we had untapped land, we'd just, like, cast Tezzeret and, like, plus on my Thopter Foundry and kill their Chandra. And, like, now we're probably going to lose this game. Kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. I guess we're not going to lose this game necessarily, but we're definitely not in a commanding spot like we could be. Blood soaks my shirt. Now this is at 6. Let's have Ghirapur Aether Grid to keep it in check, I suppose. Yeah. Sure. Got a Koth, too. Till the day I die. Jealous? Hangerback Walker? Tezzeret, sure. Untapped land, please. I guess that qualifies. Attack, Chandra, Torch of Defiance. So, turn late on that, but I'm probably still in this game. Hate you. Big Bucks, no Stormbreath Dragon. I feel like there's probably no Stormbreath Dragons in their Ensnaring Bridge deck, but, you know, Magic Online and Modern, so it could be anything. Adding more mana. So we've got 6 mana. What do we got? Got some big, terrifying thing for me. Just, like, discarding cards with this to, like, kill my Tezzeret. Goblin Brabble Master, sure. Hard for you. We got 2 Rebel Masters. Send 2 Goblins into my guy. Discard the Blood Moon, sure. And this is going to kill the Tezzeret, I assume. Yep. Day I die. Goblin, Rebel Master, Tezzeret are not a combo in terms of killing your opponent. So if I... I think I'm just... Sack Opal to Foundry for Revolt. That's a line. I could also just, like, whir for... I could just whir for Sword here. I think whirring for Sword is probably fine, right? And then, like, next turn, I can, like, sack the Sword to trigger Revolt. I think that's better. And then, like, the tokens we make, we can use with the Ghirapur Aether Grid to shoot down the Chandra. There's not a Lotus Plume in here. Alright. They're going to be able to attack with this turn. Unfortunate for us. Forever. Yeah, Tezzeret's really good. He makes them a 5/5 permanently. It's why it's a down tick. Still have a colored mana thanks to this, so... Depending on what their leftovers are here, we could be okay. We're getting hit for... They're probably discarding a card for 2, so this is 7. They hit us for 13 here, but then we've got a bunch of blockers online next turn. And we can, like, Fatal Push this. Hopefully they're just activating this and then, yeah, 13ing us. Sure, so we go to 2. Believe. This is 6 plus 5 is 11. We go to 2 here. This gains this life because it's beautiful. If they attack with everything here, we get to kill this Chandra too on the backswing. Alright. Don't call it a comeback. Untapped land is fantastic. So activate this, sacrifice this. Why isn't there an always yes option? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Alright, we've successfully triggered Revolt. Kill that one. Maybe they were supposed to have left this back. I don't actually know. Kill your Chandra. What you got, opponent? Are we going to get on the scoreboard here? Are we going to win this match? I would love to win a match. Love to win an entire match. That would be sweet. Even if it is against your mono-red nonsense. Mono-red nonsense versus blue-black artifact nonsense. Yeah, I think we did too. Thopter Sword's a hell of a stabilization. Let's gear up your Aether Crids. You're ready to punch the clock and go to work here. There's one Ghirapur Aether Grid in the sideboard. A singleton Ghirapur Aether Grid. Sure. I've been dealt damages. Unless you have a lightning bolt. Now, even lightning bolt doesn't kill me at this point. I'm going to go like block here, block this other one, tap 2, shoot a goblin. No, control decks are always bad in Modern. The Esper Goryo's Gifts deck that I played recently is like a Jund-style combo control deck, but like, I wouldn't call it a traditional control deck. Traditional control decks are very poorly positioned in Modern, mostly because of decks like Dredge. Wow, do they have to hold this back? That would be so insane for us. I think we're in a pretty insane position either way here. Even though we're shooting this one that my other 1/1's blocking, we're going to go ahead and block it just in case they have something weird. Target that one. Tap these artifacts. That's not true. Actually, the blue-red control deck in Standard right now is actually very, very good. I could kill this. Do I want to kill this? I feel like I'm better off just, like, doing this a whole bunch. Than, like, killing their Blood Moon. Welcome to the stabilization, Population Us. I guess I should have attacked with the sword on one of them before I started comboing. Missed a point of damage. We missed a lot of like 1 and 2 points of damage in this set tonight. It's still early. Standard is the type of format where control can exist. So, Standard can 10 out of 10. Control could 10 out of 10 exist in Standard. I don't think that's unreasonable. And this current Standard format's really good. Like, I personally have been enjoying this current Standard format. It doesn't look like... Hour of Devastation seems pretty low on the power level overall, so I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't change a whole lot. No, you cannot. So it's not Convoke, it's Improvise. Improvise only adds colorless mana. They got this right the second time through. So this card is fundamentally much weaker than Court of Calling, which is, I don't know if it's good, bad, or otherwise, because like Court of Calling is not even that good of a card. And then, oh, this is sweet actually. This untaps every time it comes back into play. Oh, that's funny. So this actually lets me tap both of these for damage, so I can technically get more points of damage that way too. That's funny. Man, we're gonna win an entire match. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. We stabilized. Didn't even need to kill the Blood Moon. Welcome to Thunderdome. Click this, click a mana, click here. Look at that. 2-1. Or 1-1. It's exciting! Everyone for hanging out here tonight. I don't know that we're going to have a long stream, but we're going to play this league through at least. Thanks everyone for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Remember, if you want to see a lot of more sweet modern action from myself after the stream's done tonight, you should check out my YouTube channel, which is linked to the stream information below. All 100% of my streams get archived there, and I break them up by deck and by format, so you can just search modern stuff on there and find just my modern games, or just Legacy, or just Standard, etc. Bad Sword of the Meek, right? Every time I play Tezzeret deck, it's always really sweet, and this Whir of Invention is kind of an awesome card. And then, like, we're going to get Stony Silence at some point tonight, and just want to, like, pitch myself off the tallest building nearby because Magic the Sideboarding. And don't get me wrong, Stony Silence needs to exist in Modern, but, like, it doesn't make it less frustrating to play against. Like, something sweet like this really could never even be, like, a tier 2 deck because Stony Silence exists. What happened to the Hex music? So the kids aren't awake right now, so I don't need something playing in the background. I only leave the Hex music playing during the day when the kids are watching a show or something, so that way their show doesn't pick up on my microphone. I don't know if this hand is good, but we're going to keep it. I guess I technically have an Engineered Explosive in case I need to be interactive here. Whir of Invention, that's probably not good enough. I guess I should have just topped it, because I'm going to fetch a Shockland anyways. Hex music, please, right? Thoughtseize. You know what I always love to have happened after I mulligan? Get Thoughtseized. At least we've got two of our best card here. The Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas. This card's so powerful. So, like, people talk about, like, the Death Shadow decks being, like, super interactive when they're stripping your hand apart like they do. And, like, I get that they're interactive to a degree, but, like, the interactivity they're doing, there's not a lot of interesting play and counterplay to it. Like, as someone who spent a lot of time playing Legacy recently, like, the amount of play and counterplay you have to... I'm just going to play this card out for one here. They're likely a Death Shadow deck. If we're better off having played that on two, I'm just, like, not going to let them untap and Inquisition us here. Sorry, anywho, the sequencing around the interactive decks in Legacy is a lot more interesting than the sequencing, like there isn't sequencing around Thoughtseizes and Inquisitions. It's just, like, the way you play through Thoughtseizes and Inquisitions is by, like, loading your deck with a bunch of cards that are, like, good top decks in the mid to late game. So, looking like Grixis Shadow. So, I'm glad we played this on one. Leaving just 2 Tezzerets in our hand is good. If we hit Darksteel Citadel, we can actually cast Tezzeret next turn, which would be hot. That is a deck list I'd be willing to spend someone else's money to play. I don't think decks like this are good enough that I'd be willing to spend my own $12 to play it on Magic Online. But yeah, that's something I would not reject if someone sent the donation to play it. Those who are unfamiliar, in fact, what we are doing right now is the reason why we were streaming this deck is this was a user-submitted deck list, and if you are one of my Twitch subscribers for $12, the cost of Magic Online League, I will play a deck list of your choosing that is reasonable through a Magic Online League if you pay the cost of the league. If you are not a Twitch subscriber, it's a $20 donation. So, but, you know, I like playing sweet things. You want me to play your sweet thing. It's interesting content. I don't have to lose money playing it on Magic Online because you paid for it. So it's just like win-win-win, really. And now my opponent's going to play a 1-mana 5/5, and then they're going to Stubborn Denial my Tezzeret, and we're just going to, like, love everything about life. Biggest smile. Oh, geez. Oh, geez, they don't have it. They might have a 1-mana 5/5, but, like, they don't have the Stubborn Denial, which is just, like, Christmas morning. So probably casting this Tezzeret and making this Pentad Prism a 5/5. So the problem is, like, the card, people talk about the card, like, people often talk about the card Counterspell in Modern, like they want the card Counterspell in Modern, and like, when people talk about cards like that, I wonder if they're playing the same Modern format I am, because like, the card Counterspell doesn't fix any of the problems the control decks in Modern have, really. Like, the control decks in Modern die to Dredge. Like, having Counterspell isn't going to give you a less miserable Dredge matchup. Welding Jar is a fantastic draw, because it means we can protect the 5/5 this Tezzeret's about to make. I think I'm making the Pentad Prism a 5/5. Yeah, let's do that. It does cut one of our mana if it dies, but if they have Terminate here, we're going to be really sad. Some of them are playing 2 Terminates now to kill opposing fish and anglers and stuff. Just the cost of the league, Shannon, if since you're a subscriber. I guess Counterspell would be good against Tron. That's reasonable. I accept your premise. I accept your premise that it would be good against Tron. Bring on the 1-mana 8/8. 7/7? It's a 7/7 right now. Days would be interesting. I agree that Days might be interesting. Oh, geez, are you passing? That would be so good for me. Holy crap, you're passing the turn. But I got him where I want him now. I mean, alright. Why not? No more curses on me. Well, so, we're just going to make that a 5/5. Alright, here's my 10 power. Go. And next turn, we'll make 5 more power. Yeah, like, and that's the other problem, right? Like, Days would kind of... Whoa. Wait, what? Do they not realize this says can't be regenerated? And this is why, like, so... When people talk about Magic Online and testing, like, if I was testing with Matthew here, I would have looked at Matthew and been like, Matthew, you should have terminated my Pentad Prism on your turn and, like, attacked my Tezzeret and killed it instead of, like, letting me make another 5/5. Like... Why did I get to untap with this Tezzeret and this Pentad Prism? Nobody knows. But like on Magic Online, I'm like hoping my opponent makes a mistake like that because, you know, I get to win fun bucks here because my opponent made a, let's call it an interesting play. So like, I'm not hoping for my opponent to play optimally. I'm hoping for my opponent to like take the ball and kick it across the yard because like, you know, if they take the ball and kick it across the yard, I get some treasure chests. I like treasure chests. Treasure chests are worth dollar bills. Dollar bills buy me nice things. Become. Come home. Why do I think people are doing well with blue-white control line? I think if you set your mind to it and are a slightly above average Magic player, you can do... Crats! Oh, this requires me to discard a card, doesn't it? Cast Key to the City. God, I got choices here. What are we doing? I think I'm just making this a 5/5 and attacking with both of these. I could have, like, plus Tezzeret to draw a card and then keyed this and attacked, but the problem with that is regenerating a creature removes it from combat, so if they have a Fatal Push there, I'm not going to be able to protect my thing. So I think this is ideal. Like, they have to block both of these. And then, like, they need another knot. So, the question here is, do I Welding Jar this and potentially... I think I'm just supposed to let these trade, because if I go to Welding Jar this and they Fatal Push me... Like, I played around Fatal Push by not plussing Tezzeret there, so I might as well just, like, play around it again. And, like, now they need another, They need a non-Death Shadow blocker next turn. Or a Fatal Push, I suppose. If they hit Snapcaster Mage, we're going to be kind of ranged, because they can call against command and destroy this, plus discard our card in our draw step. I think cards like Street Wraith are just, like, uninteresting and add no value to the format. Like, there's no reason Street Wraith should exist, so, like, why is it here? Yeah, I'm aware I said non-Death Shadow threat. Shannon, if the donation link below the stream through Streamlabs isn't working for you, you can donate directly to Jeff Hoagland at linux.com via PayPal. Weld Jar. Yeah, like, we played around Fatal Push so far this game, though, so, like, it makes sense to continue playing around Fatal Push, I think. If they flashed in a blocker, it was going to be a Snapcaster Mage, which was going to terminate anyway, so, like, there was no point in holding up Key to the City there. Opponent fetch shocks ended the game, sure. Take your own way out. Am I boarding in anything? I guess Witchbane Orb is funny against discard. Damnation's probably fine. Crucible seems okay. Executioner's Capsule doesn't really do anything. Nihil Spellbomb and Aether Spellbomb both seem fine. I don't think I want any of the cards up here. I could see Ghirapur, Aether Grid, and Pandem being okay. I don't know that I want that many 4s in my deck, though. Maybe some of these are bad. Yeah, actually, I'm going to cut one of these, because, like, getting this Stubborn Denial sounds pretty miserable. I could see cutting another one of these for this. Now, I don't think this is a good matchup for Surgical. Surgical is the most overboarded card in the history of Magic. Like, people bring it in too often. Like, it's fine having it in your sideboard, but, like, people love boarding that card in when they shouldn't. Yeah, that hand's fine. It's got a Nihil Spellbomb that can cantrip. And, like, you don't get a better hand by mulliganing against the deck full of Thoughtseizes. People are just like, oh, my opponent's got a spell that I don't like them casting. I should bring in Surgical Extraction. It's like, no, please stop. Please stop. You're killing him. All right, let's do this and play this Nihil Spellbomb out here. Be really sad when they force spike us. Surgicals is the closed coffin. That's exactly correct, Telrand. That's exactly correct. Come on. How lucky are we? Pretty lucky. They're going to force spike this one. Ooh. Ooh, they're about to shatter my Nihil Spellbomb. They're going to untap and K-command this Nihil Spellbomb and kill my Glimmervoid. And I'm just going to, like, throw up behind my chair. There is definitely an argument that these should be, Spires. Please, for the love of God, don't destroy my Nihil Spellbomb. I don't think so, Sharp Object. I think the fact that I just want to be able to interact is pretty valuable. Another Glimmervoid. Well, we're playing this one so we can play around Stubborn Denial. God bless. God bless us, everyone. What situations where you boarded surgical? Well, your opponent critically depends on their graveyard, or they're a very narrow combo deck where if you take out one of their combo pieces, they could actually no longer win the game. So bringing it against like Valakut decks and Scapeshift decks, that's fine. Do I want to cycle this to try and hit my land for this? No, I don't think so. So far away when I feel the sunshine to my veins. Be here again. Storm's a deck that actively uses its graveyard with Past in Flame, so yeah, I think it's fine to board in Surgical Extraction against Storm. Especially when you're a deck that can combo with discard. A lot of the time you could also, like, combo Surgical Extraction with discard against decks like that, where, like, they have a 2 of a kind in their hand, and you're like, alright, Thoughtseize one of them, and then Surgical and take the other one out of your hand. Oh, I messed up. In response to their fetch land, I should have Nihil Spellbombed them. They're delving right now. I'm talking in chat and answering questions. Yeah, they're delving right now. Yep. Whoops. We'd be heading a big way right now. Oh, I'm just cycling this. We really need to hit a land drop here. I used to be a big proponent of wanting Cabal Therapy to be modern legal. Especially, like, I kind of wanted to cycle this anyways. And, like, we could have kept them off of doing this. It's kind of unreal how big of a mistake that was. Hey, look, another card that doesn't kill that. Yep, pass the turn. We're probably going to lose the game because of that mistake there. Like, those are the really little things that you need to keep track of. There's a lot of really small decisions that can add up. And sometimes really big decisions that you just punt and, like, they'll let them get a 5/5 into play on turn 3. And, like, now they're untapped with Stubborn Denial. Yeah, man, you do you. So long, Damnation. They have a Stubborn Denial. They might take this. You don't actually need a target to use the key. But I think I want to just take draws here, rather than try and, like, take extra draws with this. Because, like, if I draw something I can cast that's valuable. Sure, we're just going to work our way through these Fatal Pushes. That's a real draw. Okay. Huh. Deal. I'm going to play this for 0, I think. And I think I'm going to sack it to this Thopter Foundry. And chump block this Gurmag Angler next turn. In it to win it, ladies and gentlemen. in it to win it. Was I supposed to have played this turn? Maybe I was supposed to play this turn. It would give my things hexproof. Alright, Engineered Explosives, you had gained 6 points of life. God bless. I feel like there should be an Expedition map in this deck so we could, like, Court of Calling for Expedition map for utility lands. Alright, we'll play her out before we do this, I guess. This is what the people want to see. It gives them another turn to draw Stubborn Denial, but I guess it protects us from Kolaghan's Command. I'm just going to get Terminated here. They left Terminated in their deck. Alright, good job, chat fam. That's getting boarded out for the third game. After we die. God, you imagine how far ahead we would be if, like, we just wouldn't have let them cast this on turn 3 because we used the Nihil Spellbomb correctly? No, it's just on Glimmervoid, which could be wrong. Could easily be wrong. I mean, like, maybe they don't have Stubborn Denial or Kolaghan's Command here, or Snapcaster Mage, or Cerebrodish Rejection. Maybe, like, all of the cards that they should be playing, they don't have any of them in their hand right now. Maybe their hand is, like, all Death Shadows, and Gurmag Anglers, and Tassigurs. How good would that be? Their hand is just, like, mono cards that don't beat Ensnaring Bridge. I'd be excited. Oh, there's one of the cards we wanted them to have. Alright, the bad news is, when this gets Stubborn Denial, we're dead. It's the bad news, chat fam. Alright. In a world where they have nothing, we're in a really good spot. This is a Snapcaster Mage, and we're dead. Alright, so, in a world where we know how Nihil Spellbomb works, we're in that game by a lot. Let's take this game on the play, shall we? Oh, wait, I want to cut this card. Because they have Terminate in their deck. Things I don't feel like doing, getting terminated. Fatal Push the Snapcaster Mage to send a message, right? Had to, I would put myself right inside you. Like that. Would you like that? So tell me. So with better play, we would have had a lot more turns to win that game. Just, like, to get set up, and then, like, we hit the Academy runes, like, we could play through their disruption with the Academy runes if we're just, like, not under the pressure that the Gurmag Angler was applying starting turn 3. Do you like that? Between love and hate, and I don't mind. Like that. How many colorless lines are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 17 blue sources. I guess 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 blue sources. It's probably fine. Maybe. I'm playing card for card a deck list that someone sent me. Yeah, this hand seems great, right? Play out a bunch of cards before they can Thoughtseize me. Seems excellent. We have plenty of mana to, like, play all of our cards off the top after our opponent's Thoughtseizes our cards away. There's no love. Guest. Storm is 2. Tapped, go. Whirring on turn 2 is pretty unlikely. Like, our Mox Opals aren't active on turn 2 most of the time. Unbanned Dredge or unbanned Storm. Probably Dredge. Dread Return's kind of a messed up card. If we're talking like fully unbanned Dredge, not just like Grave Troll. Like you give Dredge that card and it's gonna mess some people up. Alright, would like a Cord or a Thopter Foundry. Another land, deal. It's almost the same. Speaking as someone who played Legacy Dredge Cold and top 8'd a 1k with it, like, Dread Return's a messed up Magic card. Heads underwater. All of me. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this on one so they can't Thoughtseize it. We thinking about Sideboard rejecting this? Rejected. All right. You must have a Snapcaster Mage. They just want to like get that out of there so they can snap it back later. Want to buy one of our 7 Thopter Foundries. It's like one of our 7 Thopter Foundries, right? Are you running any spells this game? Do the Engineered Explosives? Heads underwater and... Please be a Death Shadow and not a Delve creature. Please be a Death Shadow and not a Delve creature. I'm hoping the fact that they're shocking here means it's a Death Shadow and a Delve creature. God bless. Alright, Stubborn Denial Mess. Hopefully we'll draw a live one. Feels good. To deny or not to deny opponent. We're almost 100% to lose this game here. Like, they have a counterspell in their hand that they're thinking about using. They likely have a Snapcaster Mage too. So, like, they countered this. They probably have another counterspell at this point. And, like, this 5/5 is just going to run us out of the game. So, we just kind of flooded and died in this game. But I definitely had that Nihil Spellbomb play in the second game that kind of put us out of it. And that's one of the things when, like, you're looking at you're reflecting on your matches of Magic that you've played. Like, one of the things I feel like a lot of people miss a lot of the time when they look at a match, like, you look at this match and it's easy to kind of focus on, like, oh, we kind of flooded and died and there was nothing we could do in this third game. But, like, matches of Magic are more than one game. Like, whenever someone comes over and they, like, tell me a bad beat story about their third game, my first question is always like, all right, well, what happened in the other game that you lost? Like, there was more to the match that you played than just the single game that you lost, that third game. Like, something else happened in that match. Alright, I mean, that's a Tezzeret. Does that do anything? My body is ready to be Snap, Stubborn, Denied. Just straight up stubs. All right, sure. That's a Delve Threat. You can tell by how they pause after they tap the land, because Magic Online takes 6, go to 7. One, two, three Stubborns and a Ceremonious Rejection. Yep. The Banana King is here. I guess we could technically draw a Fatal Push here. I'll give you a Death Shadow, I guess. And choices are Stubborn Denial with the 2/1. So again, nothing we could really do that third game, but the second game was squarely on my shoulders. Almost certainly winnable if they don't have a turn 3/5/5. I'm waiting for the match to pop. I would just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone wherever you're out in the world. Thank you for spending part of your evening here with us. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I am a TCG player and content producer. We're hanging out tonight playing a sweet modern brew that someone submitted to me. If you're enjoying the content, I encourage you to show the support. Use that follow button there on your screen. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps other people find my stuff. If you're really enjoying what you see and want to help me produce more of this content, there's a couple different ways you can do that. The first is by subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. There's links to do both of those down below the stream. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com will love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. If you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout there, you'll save 8% on your singles orders. InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience. Use code Jeff12 to save 12% on custom playmats and mouse pads and stuff like that over there. They're really good quality. I have a couple other things myself and I use them at events. MTGCardMarket.com buys and sells physical Magic cards. They also have a great selection of written content. You can check out stuff for myself. I actually publish every Friday, so I had a new article go up there this morning on the Esper Goryo gift deck that I've been playing a little bit in Modern. And finally, SpareDeck.com rents standard and modern physical Magic cards. So if you're someone like me who plays kind of physical events kind of sparingly, or you change decks very often, their service is kind of neat. You can rent decks instead of buying them and flipping them and trading cards a lot. As a fellow hero, do I get a discount if I want to make you play something ridiculous? No, leagues already cost a certain amount, Ace. I mean, this is a hand that has modern legal Magic cards in it, and looks like a keep. If this hand's not a keep, I can't imagine any of our hands are keeps. Play Aether Spellbomb into Mox Opal and then pass the turn. The old 1-2-0-1 pair up. Welcome to GP Charlotte. Enjoy your stay. Breeding Pool. That's something that's more my speed. Yeah, look at that. We drew the 0-mana spell. I understand why Mishra's Bauble's in the deck now. Let's make Bridge. Get my Crucible of Worlds down here. My opponent now thoroughly understands why I am in the bracket I am in. What are you doing, opponent? Let's see what you got. Actually, I'm probably supposed to wait until after their turn to do this, because I'm drawing another Through the Breach. Well, that's terrifying. I wonder if they're playing the Aetherworks Marvel deck that DeCandio posted. Could be. I think Star City McLaren did a video on this too. Secrets away. I'm going to cycle this. I'm gonna cycle this. Rats, they saw the line. We were 10 out of 10 good at Wooded Foothills here. Bold calls. I want to play this out now, so that way my Metalcraft is on next turn. Got no stains. Rats. Should have named Wooded Foothills. Disappear. Want to hear. Watch him just be playing like some kind of Scape Shift deck. God! Am I a powerful wizard or what? Holy crap. God, feels good to be a gangster sometimes. You know that? Opponent's 0-1 shows us through the breach breeding pool. Aetherworks Marvel. Called shot. Played this game before. This game of Magic the Gathering. Alright, what am I doing here? Let's make this a 5-5. Know your tiers 1 through 5, kids. Exactly. What tier 7 deck are you playing, opponent? You're 0-1. Oh, you're the Aetherworks Marvel deck, aren't you? If they have Harness Lightning for this, I can Fatal Push the Rogue Refiner off of this. I just need to remember to float black mana in response to it, because this won't make mana once this dies. The Aether Hub. My opponent has the power. Make a black mana in response. Again, because this won't make mana after this dies, so I won't have Metalcraft anymore. Man, Fatal Harness Lightning your Crucible, Fatal Push your Rogue Refiner. What format are we playing? I don't understand. Push that guy off a cliff. Oh, you know what card this kills? Emrakul. Card certainly kills Emrakul. Just put this one into play over here. Feeling comfortable. Got that Aetherworks Marvel matchup on lock. Pull up the deck list on Star City here real quick. Play this out past the turn. It's actually a virtual machine problem. So Magic Online doesn't run on superior operating system, so I have to play Magic Online in a virtual machine that's running Windows. DBL Cup with the 199 donation. Hey Jeff, good to play against you, though my triple stub was super summy. Good luck further. Thanks for the donation, but I appreciate it. Good games. I messed up the second game with my sequencing on the... what's it called? Oh, with the Nihil Spellbomb for sure. The third game I just flooded out a little bit, but the second game we punted. Wait, what? Alright, blue mana, whatever color mana this is. Dupe. Get the fun and interactive magic card that is Ensnaring Bridge. I'm running on VirtualBox. Good use of Through the Breach there. Opponent doesn't want to play Magic anymore. Weird. Alright, well, Krosan Grip sounds great. I don't actually know that Fatal Push is good. Thoughtseize seems fine. Grafdigger's Cage doesn't actually stop Aetherworks Marvel, right? Because it exiles the card. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast a card from among them without paying its mana cost, but the rest... Oh, it does! It does stop it, doesn't it? Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast... Yeah, they're still in the library. Okay, that technically turns off. Alright, sure. Yeah, but like some effects that like are similar to Aetherworks Marvel involve exiling the spell and then casting it from exile. But Aetherworks Marvel is not like that. It does actually cast it from the library. Nihil Spellbomb doesn't seem pretty good. Maybe I don't want the Krosan Grips here. Engineered Explosive doesn't seem particularly good. Witchbane Orb actually stops Delirium Emrakul trigger from targeting us. So that doesn't seem irrelevant. Welding Jar seems fine. Yeah, Panglacial Wormwood Lock. Yeah, exactly. Bridge seems great. Crucible's probably fine. Pithing Needle seems fine. Is Fatal Push good enough? Probably not. Yeah, that's exactly right. Cascade, Living End, or Grafdigger's Cage does not stop Cascade spells from being cast. Whir of Invention is almost cord for artifacts. You can't convoke the blue part of the mana. Sure. I'm going to Stone Rain them here. Kind of. I'm going to kind of Stone Rain them. Thanks for showing me Wooded Foothills. Since I have this Grafdigger's Cage to lock the Aetherworks Marvel itself out, I'm just going to take them off this Wooded Foothills. Is only entertainment. Yeah, Grafdigger's Cage doesn't work against either half of... It's awkward against both halves of Living Ends. It doesn't work against the Cascade part, and it doesn't work against the putting them into play, because they technically enter from exile as well. It's super, super awkward templating. Just my name, Jeff Hoagland at linux.com. Linux.com. Yeah, I'm going to take the Emrakul out of their hand here, because we're going to render the Aetherworks Marvel effectively useless here with this Grafdigger's Cage, so... we technically have one red spell. We've got what? We've got a Ghirapur Aether Grid in the board. But yeah, Scalding Tarn is just a blue fetch. Like, these could be any blue fetches. These could be Flooded Strands or Polluted Deltas if you own those, or Misty Rainforest if you own those and want to play this deck. Sailor pig, and I lost my leg. The top sail, I lost my leg. Do I want to get anything interesting? Do I want to get anything with Whir of Invention? My wooden leg. I'm just passing here. I don't want to Thoughtseize them quite yet. I want to give them the maximum amount of time to draw Through the Breach and Emrakul, so that way I can take those out of their hand. Because that's what I'm worried about losing to at this point, is Through the Breach, Emrakul. So opponent's hand currently consists of Wooded Foothills, which they can't activate because of Pithing Needle, Aetherworks Marvel, and a second Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. So they only have one card I don't know, so I want to give them a chance to draw something that I care about with this Thoughtseize. To find my wooden leg. Next turn, we could whir for... Yeah, we could whir for Crucible of Worlds, which wouldn't be the worst. Backup Cage, sure. Pass the turn here. Should my opponent... They have two cards we don't know about. Or they have one card we don't know, but I guess they can't actually Through the Breach Emrakul next turn. So we're going to go ahead and whir for... we're going to whir for the Crucible of Worlds. That way we can get the Inventors Fair going every turn here. And just start getting artifacts that we want. Opponent has all the power they could ever want and nothing to do with it. All dressed up and nowhere to go. I probably want to get the second Grafdigger's Cage down. Yeah, Grafdigger's Cage says creatures can't enter the battlefield from graveyards or library, so we couldn't get an artifact creature, but we can whir for a regular artifact. So this is actually not a non-bow. We're not actually casting the artifact. We're taking it from the library, putting it into play. It's one of those awkward things that's like, you know, this is technically how this works. It's not elegant, but this is technically correct. So they have two cards we don't know right now. They have Marvel, Wooded Foothills, so they can't Through the Breach this turn. Attune, sure. You have the power, opponent, so play your Mountain, play your Aetherworks Marvel. Yep. Pentad Prism's decent. Let's play that out. Opponent's got one unknown. Another Aetherworks Marvel, sure. Play this out. Play a backup Grafdigger's Cage. Pass the turn. Now we're in for the slow grind here. Yep, this is basically a Thopter Sword tutor deck. You got like some toolboxy stuff for the Whirs, but it's basically a Thopter Sword tutor deck. One more land this fetch line can get. It's really unfortunate. Gets it, puts it into my hand, right? I'm gonna do that at end step, I think. Why are you still up, tiny child? I think I need to run up and check out Declan really quick. I don't know why he's still awake. Put him down a while ago. What am I getting here? I think Ensnaring Bridge is just the safe get, right? It's like make sure nothing could go sideways here. And then I'll be right back. I need to run upstairs and check on Declan. Sorry, while I was upstairs, I had to get my cool and refreshing Gold Peak Raspberry Iced Tea. It's delicious. This stream is in no way sponsored or endorsed by Gold Peak Raspberry Iced Tea, but Gold Peak, if you're out there, it could be. Alright, how are we actually killing them? I feel like at some point we actually have to kill them, right? Do Thopter Sword things here in a second. Actually kill them. Then we stop winning. As soon as our opponent dies, we stop winning the game. What fun is that? I don't understand. Why would anyone want to kill their opponents? And they don't get to win the game anymore. Ooh, Tezzeret. So for those who are unfamiliar with Tezzeret, he says suspend one, win the game. So his ultimate is my opponent loses 2 life for every artifact we control, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess they're technically not dead here. They're dead once we get the Thopter going, though, right? It's no surprise to me, I am my own worst enemy. Now and then I kick the living shit out of me. Forget about the things I said when I was drunk. I didn't mean to call you that. Now, every mana we have turns into an artifact, and I believe that kills our opponent. So use this, sacrifice this. I would love to return this to play. Make a mana, use this, sack this. Shopping costed by. Alright, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, suspend one, win the game. How do I forget yesterday? Oh, they could sack the puzzle knots. They could sack the puzzle knots. I think we're actually 1 short, right? I don't have any more mana lying around here. I was so cocky. I was so cocky and bold. They're going to go to 29 and they're only going to take 28. Opponent has lived. Live, opponent, live! I saved their life. I didn't let them crack that wooded foothills. Saved your life, opponent. This is my favorite. The old check if Moto's bugged and it'll let me cast the spell or not. Look at that. Look at that. 2 and 2. Scoreboard. 50%. I don't have a ton of experience with this deck, but I'm pretty sure it's about 50% against the modern field. Turns out we can beat Aetherworks, Marvel, and mono red nonsense. Thanks everyone for hanging out here this evening. I do appreciate it. This is going to be our last match of the night. I'm playing for about 2 hours. If you didn't catch all of the Tezzeret goodness, remember that it'll be posted on my YouTube channel, which is linked below the stream. Sure, why not? No, it wasn't mono red Toronto. It was different mono red nonsense. It was like Ensnaring Bridge. Man, poor Declan. He's just not having a good day. He probably needs to start napping again. I agree. This card should be banned, and this card should probably not be legal. I'm going to bauble myself here to see if I should draw another card. Urborg. I think that's fine. Another Darkslick, perfect. I'm actually going to play this out on one preemptively since we're playing against Death Shadow. This also sets me up to whir with it next turn. I just want to get it out of my hand so they can't Thoughtseize or Inquisition it away. Pacing the pews in a church corridor, and I can't help but to hear. No, I can't help but to hear an exchanging of words. What a beautiful one. Yeah, he had just woken up, and sometimes he fusses himself back to sleep. If he's still fussing another 5 minutes or so, I'm going to go back up and check on him again. I have the video monitor, so he's just like laying in his crib trying to fall back asleep. Technology's great. It's like, what? This is silly. Why is this a thing? Play a delve creature here. Oh, well, in fact, I mean, look at it this way. I mean, technically, our marriage is saved. This calls for a toast, so pour the champagne, pour the champagne. Haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things. So long Tezzeret, I assume? Two of a kind here, so. In a world where there's no stubborn denial, it would be okay here. There's always a stubborn denial, ladies and gentlemen. I chimed in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door now. I think if there's good players on both sides of the table, the Death Shadow player beats the Burn player more often than not. Yeah, end of turn, Whir for Foundry is the line here. And if this eats a Stubborn Denial, we'll untap and Whir for a bridge. And, like, hope they don't have a, like, one of the builds of Death Shadow that just topping to the Invitational didn't have, what's it called? It didn't have any Call Against commands in its main deck. Like, you know, on the off shot that they don't have any Call Against commands, we're going to be in a great spot here. This big old ugly Mamma Jamma. Go. Alright, here's hoping you just don't play any more Magic here. Your move, Vanderwill. Oh, they have the Call Against command. I can taste it. They're about to kick me in the dick and be like, nice Ensnaring Bridge there. Shatter it. Discard your last card. Yeah, dig. Dig, Mamma Jamma, dig. Alright, if we draw a Tezzeret, it says suspend one, win the game. Bottom, 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 bottom. Oh, baby. So you're saying this? Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyone else excited? I'm excited. So you're saying there's a chance. This is the worst sort of Magic. This card's so dumb. This card's like Blood Moon dumb, but like everyone's doing dumb things in Modern. So like, I guess we're just doing what everyone else does. Where's your Maelstrom? Alright. Take a look at their top card here. Another Snapcaster, sure. It's everything I see. tonight. Find you now, things would get better. This isn't like lantern control obnoxious, but like, I just want my opponents to remember they did this to themselves by stubborn denialing the first one of these. We're going to activate this key to the city at end step, 10 out of 10, and then pay 2 and draw an extra card. They went bottom, bottom. First time activating the key, so. Look in your eyes. Like you wanted to play Lantern yet, right? Are we having fun yet, opponent? I hope my opponent's having fun. Just like, you know, draw into a Tezzeret here. At some point, we'll draw a Tezzeret. And they'll stubborn denial it, and then we'll wait to draw another Tezzeret. I guess I technically should wait. Yeah, I technically should wait a turn cycle here. We get like Thoughtseize, I feel kind of bad. Magic is fun. That's what you get when you let your heart win. Whoa. When you let your heart win. Whoa. Yay, opponent doesn't want to play Magic anymore. Urborg's a mountain, so it doesn't work. Damnation comes in. That was like all we did last time, right? We just like brought Damnation in. Brought out Executioner's Capsule. I could see Mirror to Ghirapur Aether Grid. Just like burning them out. It seems pretty unlikely. So the last Grixis Shadow player left in Terminator against us because of Tezzeret, so I don't think it's unreasonable to think that they're going to do that again. Ascient's great until we get discard spelled out of the game. Please cast Serum Visions. Rats. Just so inviting. So long engineered explosives. I hardly knew ya. I guess if they don't have a Death Shadow, they could take the Damnation away. If they don't take this, we're going to go Darkslick Shores, EE, Mox Opal Pass. If they do take this, we're probably going to go Scalding Tarn, Mox Opal Pass. Whoa. Okay, draw. Half our combo. The Thopter Sword combo is actually pretty good in this matchup. Hello, Death Shadow, my old friend. That'd be a sweet draw if they didn't have Stubborn Denial. Sounds like Declan put himself to sleep as expected. That resolved. Yeah, that's good for us. They don't put a 4-power guy into play next turn, which they are now because they just catch Dark Ritual. Even a fetch land lets them kick this up to 4-power. Oh, lordy, please just pass. Or have a big fish and no land. We have Tassiger. That's unfortunate. Tassiger's good because it allows them to cast it while still leaving up Stubborn Denial. Yep. It's such a tight pinch, like, trying to sequence around the Stubborn Denials and the possible counter-target color spells they could have on their board, and then, like, they get Thought Season Inquisitions just, like, punch you in the stomach on the in-between. Yeah, so Damnation's 10 out of 10 gone there. And hit for 7, so we're dead in 3 now. Get one Stubborn Denial out of their hand. Like, this is, like, a great example of, like, when people talk about Death Shadow's, like, the best deck in the format, that's definitely true, but, like, they like it because it's interactive. Like, my opponent's interaction this game was to stop me from interacting with them. My opponent's interaction was effectively like what Infect's interaction was. Like, Infect plays cards like Spell Pierce and Blossoming Defense, but, like, they're playing those cards to stop you from killing their things. Like, Death Shadow, or Infect wasn't playing interactive cards for the sake of being interactive. It was playing interactive cards for the sake of stopping you from interacting with their stuff. Like, they're going to counter my next thing here too. Snap Stubborn Denial. Yeah. So, like, you know, I had 1, 2, 3 things that were going to be interactive. 4 kind of. Like, you know, I just had counter spells. Is what it is. I mean, like, Delver decks and Legacy do similar things, but they didn't really do it with counter spells, which lead to a little bit more interesting sequencing decisions, in my opinion. I would love to play first. Thank you for asking. Hearthstone hands always look so good. Yeah, this hand's fine. Quick Whir for Bridge. I'm going to top that because I'm just going to fetch for it anyways. Zillium. Notching your bedpost, but you're just aligned some. Drop a heart. Break a name. Magic's fun. We're down in a really luau. Sugar, we're going down swinging. I'll be your number one with a bullet. Hope the top of my deck is hot. Hot, hot, hot. Be surprised if they take Whir here. I feel like they have another discard spell. They should take Pentad Prism. I can take Pentad Prism, then I can't play Whir next turn. And I think I take that the following turn. Yeah, like counter spells don't do anything to help Modern along at all. This is more than I bargained for. No, this is exactly what I bargained for. Whenever we join a Modern League, we know this is what we're signing up for. Huh. Interesting. Hopefully we draw land. Well, you know. How I'm just dying to be here. Okay, I mean, we actually have a pretty good setup here if they don't have another discard spell for this. We just get to... I wanted to draw a land and then, like, draw our threat the following turn so that we could play our threat right away. Now we're a little bit weak to a Thoughtseize, but again, you can't play around Thoughtseizes. Like, the only way to play around Thoughtseize is by leaving your cards on top of your deck, and you don't exactly have the option to do that. You should not feel bad for playing Grixis Shadow and Dredge in Modern. I would call you a realist. That's what I would call you. Turn off auto yields. Complex, cock it. Don't Thoughtseize me, please. God bless us, everyone. Oh, sweet. MGD Filler! With the 13-month resubscription, I'm broke, send help. Welcome back, and thank you for the continued support. Loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. Maybe. They don't have Terminate mana up this turn, so if they do Fatal Push this, I could Welding Jar it. Tezzeret on an empty board is pretty good, though. Loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. They can play their Death Shadows out now. So, like, it's not... It was not necessarily a free attack. Yep. This can be a 6/6. I have a Scalding Tarn here. It's actually a pretty good draw. Make another 5/5 and pass the turn here. Again, we're not attacking because if they fetch Shock, this will be a 6/6. But like next turn, for instance, I can put a third 5/5 into play. I think we're spellbombing them. I'm just going to spellbomb them now. Keep them off of a Del threat. I would agree with you. Ensnaring Bridge and Blood Moon are not cards that make for a fun and interesting format. Especially not one that has the answers that Modern has. But you got opponent. If you got a Thought Scour, you could potentially play another Del threat here. That's kind of an insane draw. I think I'm supposed to start by playing the Welding Jar. They might Stubborn Denial this. They didn't. Am I supposed to just like Tezzeret this and then ship? What do we think? I'm just gonna plus the Tezzeret. That's the conservative thing to do, I think. They're terrified of Ensnaring Bridge. Yep. Oh, they just thought they can't rejection Thopter Foundry. Sure. This is an artifact, but it's not colorless. If they attack Tezzeret here, I just like double block. It goes like kind of bad for us if they have Terminate, but at the same time, like it's not that bad. Like Terminate's killing one of our things regardless. I would like my Tezzeret to live. And if they pass priority, I'm just going to let them trade. There's no way you're shocking yourself here, right? Going to 5 is nuts. I guess they could have another... They have another Death Shadow going to 5 seems fine. Yeah, the Welding Jars have been impressive. For sure. So they must have a follow-up Death Shadow here. Whoa, that's a big end. If they pass priority here, I'm just going to trade. Yeah, I'm just going to trade. First met you, never fall in love, that and meet you. If I go to regenerate there, my opponent could Fatal Push in response and really blow us out. Baby, I'm not like the rest. When my opponent passes priority there, as soon as I say take damage, damage happens. If I make a move at all, my opponent gets a chance to start responding to things, and that's not what I want to do. Play this land past the turn. Heart to break, yeah, heart to break. If they have another Snapcaster Mage here to like try and kill the Tezzeret, we could sack a Welding Jar and make a token. Yeah. Cell phone. Street Wraith? Sweet. So you're dead? Sans a Slaughter Pact, you're dead. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at these 120 play points we have returned to ourselves. And an entire treasure chest. An entire treasure chest. Thank you, everyone who stayed through the duration of our very silly stream with our Tezzeret deck. This was a very sweet deck that was submitted by one of these subscribers, and I'm really sorry, I'm blanking on the username right now. Did I have it written down? I didn't. Is it on here? Can I please play this again? Maybe at some point. Maybe we'll work on this at some point. It did pay for itself, so maybe we could do it again. There's a lot of things I want to work on and play, though. Like, I've got Legacy tournaments coming up, and I want to play that, too. My tapped out page isn't loading. At any rate, thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the evening. Remember, if you didn't catch all 5 matches that we played tonight, we've been playing for almost 3 hours. They're going to upload to my YouTube channel, and they'll be available tomorrow morning. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will catch y'all around later.